learn what you have learned.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No, try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
And it wasn't until just earlier, like literally a few minutes ago, that I realized why I like this saying so much and why I think it actually proves a lot about why you're your own problem in your life. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Paige, and this is a rant all about why if you're trying, you're the problem. Because honestly, I just feel like things like this don't get talked about enough. Everybody wants to sympathize with each other, which obviously is needed. Honestly, I can find sympathizing to be very enabling for people. It gets them in the mindset that they're already in, when in reality, if you were to offer them the perspective that shows them a way out of a situation or feeling or yada yada yada, there's just a lot more to be gained from those kind of things. So that's what I like to talk about on this channel. If you're interested in that, obviously subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, turn on post notifications. Like you guys aren't on YouTube and already know how to do this stuff, you know, whatever. So diving into it, what is trying? Like, what did they even mean by the word trying? So here is a lovely definitions for you guys to sift through, but what I could tell basically from the definitions of the word trying is the fact that this word implies struggle. It implies hardship and dis-ease. Obviously, that's more so the adjective version of the word, but even the verb implies this as well to a degree, you know? When you think about trying something, there is a little bit of you that doesn't believe that you're going to be able to do it. Otherwise, you would say that you were doing it, right? Because doing something, you're just doing it. It just is. It doesn't imply any struggle, or it doesn't imply that there won't be a struggle. It just simply is. So basically what I'm saying, and what I find that this saying that I started off saying in this video is trying to say, and that is the struggle is optional when you do something rather than try it. Now this goes back to like mindset, perception, and belief systems, which I've talked about in other videos, so check those out if you need a little bit more of a preface on what I'm about to say. But essentially, if you can change your mindset and reinterpret the energies that you're dealing with, you may be able to ultimately change the feeling that is associated with this energy. So let me talk about this a little bit more specifically with the example of being positive. I know a lot of people are trying to work to be more positive in their lives. However, for that to even be an option, you have to recognize that there is a part of you that is nice, that can be positive, that can, you know, come up with these happier thoughts. And that awareness brings you to the next step, which is realizing that you have to make sure that these parts are getting along, which I find is where negative self-talk comes in, because certain parts of yourself may be overbearing to more softer parts of yourself. But I want to dive into that in another video talking about sub-personalities. So if you're interested in that, make sure you leave a comment down below. The way that I see it is when you are trying, there is some sort of like passivity and hesitation in your act of doing. Like I said, it implies some sort of a struggle, and I feel like your own resistance pops up in the form of you trying to do something, because ultimately you never really feel ready to do it because you're just trying, you know, you're just trying it out. You're not wanting to commit to it, basically, is what trying means. But here's the thing, is when you are just positive, you just bring that characteristic out on the spot, you know, on command, basically, which, you know, will have a little hesitation to it or might come after a negative thought, but still you have the choice to consciously exercise a positive thought. And this is kind of what people talk about when they mean acting as if, you know, it feels a little phony at first because it's probably not your preferred route or way of, you know, speaking to yourself. But when you can change your mindset by just, you know, offering another option, which ultimately is what happens when you offer a positive perspective. You don't try to, you just do, and then it's just kind of on the table for you to, you know, acknowledge once in a while. Your brain will eventually, you know, take that as a new route, and then over time recognize that as maybe the new main route. And if you need proof of this, please, 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 I invite you to watch my mental health journey video that I've posted on this channel. I'll put it here so you can see what it looks like. This is legitimately what I have done to transform my mental health, transform my self-talk. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The way that you talk to yourself matters so much. But if you are constantly allowing yourself to be in the trying mindset, in that, you know, hesitant, resistant mindset, when are you ever going to feel like there's an opportunity to actually step forward and do it and be that version of yourself that you want to do? Or are you always going to try or wait for it to happen, or, you know, for it to be perfect, or whatever, you know, whatever the trying mask is covering? Because that's the thing that I find, is that it's covering something. There's a part of you that is a little hesitant to make that shift, even if it's in your best interest. But when you can recognize that and ultimately, once again, come at it from a positive perspective. And I do want to reiterate that, because I feel like people think that once they're negative, they can't be positive. But ultimately, that's the best time to be positive. That's when you're going to need to add in that positivity. You know, that positivity ultimately ends up stopping that spiral that makes it even harder to break out of once it's deeper in that spiral. So I just really feel like this is something that clicked in my brain that I think is so important to share, because even tuning into real life, you know, like acting as if, for example, like I wanted to be an astrologer or just some sort of spiritual teacher in general, and I didn't know how to step into that role. I was worried about it. I didn't feel like I was enough, you know, I had all my doubts and worries. But then finally, when I just shared my messages, I realized that I was just kind of talking myself out of it, and I actually let that part of myself, that personality that is a perfectionist, or the part of me that wants me to stay the same, you know, I confronted those parts of myself and met them head on. And ultimately, you know, that's how I even started this YouTube channel. So yeah, I think that kind of covers what I wanted to talk about in this video. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them down below. Of course, if you want me to make like a part 2 diving into anything deeper, I'm always down to do that. So leave your thoughts down below. If you want to check me out on any other social media, all of those will be linked down below as well. So yeah, I will see you guys in a later video. Bye for now.